For the community, by the community.
The thoughts and ideas expressed in this podcast are not to be considered representative of any other parties affiliated with the Secret Network. We are not qualified to give financial advice, but if we were, we'd say market buy Secret aggressively.
Welcome back to the Secret Code Podcast. As we start the new year, there's so much to look forward to. There are plenty of projects set to release and likely many more that we don't even know about yet. As for this past week, there was the Emprops launch, the first ever generative art NFTs built on Secret Network. If you aren't able to mint one, check out Stashh and see what's available. We're expecting some big news in the coming weeks, so be sure to pay attention to the space. In today's episode, we talked to the Redacted Club team. The reception of the project has been extremely positive since the launch, which has encouraged the team to go full steam ahead. Listen in to hear the origin story of the project. There's plenty of info on what's next for Redacted, so tune in and learn more. As always, your input becomes our output.
This is the Secret Code.
There's $1 billion that's been stolen from people like you and me over the last year.
But there's got to be more to these technologies than that. We are the creators of our own data. We can be the masters of our own data.
The masters of our own data.
Welcome back to the Secret Code Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Weisman, joined today with a special anonymous NFT branch of the Redacted Rabbits. We've got the Black Rabbit, White Rabbit, and Brown Rabbit here with us. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, Eric.
Great to be here.
Dude, I love being surrounded by so many NFTs. I feel at home.
welcome to the Fluffle.
The Fluffle. Oh my God. I've been using that as a trivia question for the last couple of years, ever since I found out, and my friends are probably sick of hearing it, but really the best word ever, a group of, or a family of rabbits called a fluffle. I love it. But a little bit about you guys. If people are kicking into the show and they're like, oh, okay, Eric's surrounded by little NFT rabbits. Yeah, that's what we're about here. But who are you guys?
Yeah, I'll jump in with that one. So we're three friends. We've been working together on projects for the past few years and have been interested in crypto. Decided it was time for us to build something. We all have technical backgrounds, mostly in computer science, and are working in finance and tech. We've been involved with crypto in different capacities over the years, but this is our first joint effort to build something, despite the fact that we've been following the space for some time.
Well, good job. You guys built it out pretty quick, by the way, and it's had a fantastic reception. But you guys have the background in crypto, or in technical backgrounds, and a lot of experience with crypto. How did you guys discover Secret Network, and what drew you guys to build with us?
Yeah. So by the way, just as an introduction, I'm Brown Rabbit. I know you listeners probably don't know our voices yet, and White Rabbit was the previous answer. But we like to think that we follow the interesting projects in the community that are being built in crypto, and privacy is such an area of focus as things keep evolving in the space. So naturally, when you combine that with smart contracts, you get something really attractive and interesting. So that's kind of how we came across Secret Network. And we noticed too that the ecosystem is beginning to flourish, but it's still early. At the time that we kind of incepted the project, I think at that time Anons had just launched or was in the process of launching, and that they were the first. So we kind of saw that we had this really interesting design space and not a lot of supply on the creative side yet. So we were like, all right, that's a space where we can kind of get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Anons was the first, and it's gone really well. They have their own Telegram group. So I have an Anon. I'm in their proof of Anon only Telegram group, which is actually very active and cool, and the value's gone up and whatnot. But I mean, I was definitely disappointed. The launch didn't go great. You guys really set yourselves apart by having an incredibly smooth launch. You guys minted out very quickly, 1,337 rabbits at a price of 42 secret. Strange arbitrary numbers that were really cool. How did you guys choose those numbers?
We were just thinking about the numbers are obviously they have meme like cultural references, but I think for us it was more broadly, how big do we want our collection to be? Did we want to be a 10K project? Did we want to be a 10 project? we felt that our middle ground, our happy middle ground, was around 1,000, and that's partially because of the size of the secret network at the time, and also just I think for us, what we really thought about was we needed the art to be stellar. We needed to be like really, really attractive, and it's hard to balance quality and quantity, especially when you're a small team. So we felt like the 1,000 range made sense, and then we thought, all right, if we were going to do 1,000 plus or minus a few, what numbers are attractive there? And 1337, we all have that little elite hacker. We all grew up on the internet, so there's definitely an appeal there. And then 42 also has a lot of cultural references. We didn't want to price rabbits at some insanely high price because we weren't sure whether we could justify that, and also we wanted to be inclusive as much as possible. Mm-hmm. And we felt 42 was a pretty good place to be in that sense as well.
Yeah, it was. It worked, and it's actually very decentralized. So it wasn't just one person minting 500. It was a lot of different people got 2 or 3, which is exactly what you want to go down. So awesome job. So starting to dive into kind of the origin of the rabbits. You guys talked about your technical background, you guys being friends and doing this as a group. That's living the dream. Every group of friends wants to start an NFT project and open a bar. So I know your guys' next step. But who is on the team? It's the 3 of you guys, the white rabbit, brown rabbit, and black rabbit. Do you guys have any other people on the team?
It's just the 3 of us. I think I'm the last one to introduce myself, so I can also go quickly. I'm Black Rabbit. So I studied CS undergrad along with Brown and White Rabbit. And kind of worked at like a traditional VC backed startup for a few years doing data and web engineering, and then got more seriously interested in blockchains earlier this year. And I think we all kind of got interested in blockchains around the same time and started working on side projects. And it was really just like coincidence that we all got interested enough at the same time, to the point where we were like, all right, let's spend like a lot of time on our nights and weekends working on something really cool. And then actually, of course, there is Peaches, our awesome designer, who is not joining us on this podcast. But Peaches is great. I've also known Peaches for a long time, and I think as we all know, Peaches just killed it on the art.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely gorgeous. Well done. And so you have the data background and whatnot. When can we expect NFTs on MongoDB?
I think if Mongo starts releasing NFTs, that might be a top signal, or Mastodon. Who knows?
I'm in. All right, guys. So not only did you have a very smooth launch, incredible artwork, decentralization, but you also had some lore and storylines going on. We have different races and species of these rabbits. I know I personally got a robot and a zombie, which I'm pretty stoked about. Both are very rare. Yes, that is my gorgeous Down with the Lizard King redacted robot rabbit. And
looks rare.
Yeah, and there's my zombie. He's got about 1 1/3 ear. Rocking the sick blue jacket.
You've quite the collection. I'm jealous.
I know. I'm pretty good at this. I'm the Secret Network resident NFT degen. This is what I do. But it was really cool just seeing all these different species and seeing people trying to collect these different types, and also knowing that we should be shouting down with the Lizard King, and that's who we're up against. Who is the Lizard King, and how can we stop him?
So. Sorry, my mic disconnected. So yeah, the Lizard King is broadly anyone that stands for values that are antithetical to privacy. There have been community mentions as who that may or may not represent, and we will neither confirm nor deny any of those claims. But we can all imagine who a Lizard King may be to us, and what's important to us as a community is that we can band together and we can support initiatives and projects that are pushing forward these virtues of privacy as we move forward in a world of decentralization. So the Lizard King is anyone who tries to shut those ideals and virtues down, and there's a reason why we believe in the motto "Down with the Lizard King."
Absolutely, down with the Lizard King. And so I know we joked about the whole fluffle idea. Is that really the reason you guys chose rabbits, or was there any other special meaning?
Actually, I learned about the word fluffle today. So that's some great trivia. That's some great trivia for me. Honestly, I think there were a couple things that we were looking for. So one was alliterations. We were thinking about like, what's a cool theme for the secret network. And Anons, they had that one. That was amazing. So we were looking for something a little different. And we were really thinking about like, actually, I think Brown Rabbit might have come up with the initial inspiration, but we were thinking about those like old style pictures with bars across the eyes. And we were like, there's something so cool about that redacted theme. And then we were just like, what goes with redacted? It could be like raccoons, it could be rabbits. And in the end, we were like, rabbits are kind of mysterious. They hang together. So that's kind of where we landed.
In an alternative timeline, we're redacted raccoons, but here we're redacted rabbits.
I love it. I don't know. I'm aphantasic, so I'm terrible with art. I don't think in pictures, and I really appreciate it. But I can't draw worth anything. And so I choose to believe that Peaches is out there being like, guys, I'm really, really good at drawing rabbits, but that's it. we have one shot, one opportunity. We got to go for it. I can draw a pretty mean jellyfish and literally nothing else. So I don't know.
All right. Well, while we collaborate, we'll launch a jellyfish project next year. It'll be great.
Perfect. What are some of your guys' favorite attributes? I love the robot. I love the little No Lizard King sticker, and I actually really like the headphones just because I'm always wearing them. But what stood out to you guys? What were the corporate favorites?
Yeah, I can jump in first. And I know we were talking a little bit about this before we started recording. Something that's so cool is seeing, that everybody has a favorite attribute. I really expected that, people would have diverse taste, but they would all kind of collapse on a few. But I feel like there's such diversity in answers when we ask the question, what's your favorite attribute? So to that effect, my favorite attribute is probably the blue puffer jacket. I just think it's so cool and well done and well drawn. I remember when Peaches sent it to us at first, I was like, holy crap, that is awesome. So that's my favorite.
Yeah, I died to get mine, so I had to come back as a zombie. Thank you, Matt. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I remember that moment as well. I remember when Peaches sent the blue puffer jacket and I saw it and I was like, wow, like this is actually going to work and these rabbits look incredible. That said, I can't do the blue puffer because Brown's got that. I think my favorite is the katana. There's something cool about that. It's like, you're going to fight a lizard king, you need a katana.
I am a little bit different here. I like the ear accessories, two of which are represented on my rabbit. The carrot earring, I think, is so unique. You don't see something like that on many other NFTs. And then, of course, the secret agent earpiece just fits with the theme of secrecy and privacy and the mission we're after, which is ultimately supporting the network.
Yeah, the earrings and then the cool things you guys did with the teeth, or like rainbow tooth or gold tooth or chip tooth type stuff, is really neat as well. So really a lot of variety, much more than I'd expected in getting in. So good job, guys. A little bit more on the technical side. I get people come up to me all the time like, hey, like we need to make an NFT for this. Like it's the new fad, but it's hard to do right. And to my knowledge, not all that many people really have the ability to do it because everyone's still trying to catch up. So can you walk us through what it was like with your NFT implementation? What did it take? What was the process of the order you guys went through?
Yeah, happy to take that. So it wasn't easy to start. There wasn't a ton of scaffolding yet. I think actually from the time that we launched to now, there's been a lot of other documentation released. Mostly credit to Lumi, who helped us both optimize the smart contract and also guided us through a ton of questions. He was the real MVP. And the other thing is, being in a new ecosystem, we think being in tight sync with the OG network dev team is really crucial. We actually met Tor and several others down in Miami about 2 weeks pre-launch and got to discuss and brainstorm and actually talk to some folks who are running validators and had experience with setting up the Anons launch. So talking to people goes a long way in this world. It's really about that network, and really we were blown away by the quality of that talent. Beyond that, we just focus on the basics: a clean, functional site, gas optimized contract, using the pro tier plan for the RPC nodes, which turned out to be pretty important, and then testing again.
Pro tier plan with Figment.
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, we got the benefit too of having seen some launches prior to ours, and we even saw some kind of compiled Twitter threads of like things to watch out for while launching. And the Figment Data Hub Pro tier RPC node was like number one on our list. You know, we had to get that, and I think we ended up seeing around like 20,000 or 30,000 requests. And there's just no way we could have run a node on our own that could have handled that. So that was crucial.
So if you guys met Tor and a bunch of people in Miami when we were all in Miami, did you guys meet me?
I saw your face. I don't think we spoke.
Okay.
I did see you there.
I only see the rabbits. I was there working the booth. I don't know. I was there in Miami.
It's possible we met. Honestly, when we were walking around, the secret booth seemed like one of the more popular booths. There were a lot of people there, so we were kind of meeting a lot of people.
Dude, it was dope. It was totally hopping. I was actually I was talking to Mr. Garbanzo there, and I was talking about a couple big profile meetings we had coming up, and one of the guys from one of the groups I'm supposed to meet with comes up behind me. He's like, "Hey, are you Eric from Secret Swap? Yeah, we have this meeting coming up, but I'd love to like come and touch base with you and whatnot." Like the networking was fantastic. I'm like, I told you we had these big meetings. Dope. Let's see if my hat goes a long way.
I was just gonna say, unfortunately, I wasn't able to make Miami, but from the stories I heard from when Black Rabbit, not only crucial to the success of our project, but we just learned so much about Secret and the broader ecosystem, and just added to our conviction that we need to build here.
Awesome. Well, we have a community spotlight question for you guys. And this is from @SPOAT_ from our Twitter thread, where we're now going to Twitter instead of just our Telegram to ask to gather questions for the community. And we're doing giveaways. So you'll win 2.5 or 5 secret if we're your top delegation, SPOA. So thanks for the question. But how do you guys plan to build the Redacted Club community?
Cool. Yeah, I can take this, and maybe I can also parlay this a little bit into talking about our roadmap for 2022.
Awesome.
So we're gonna release a longer at the time of recording, we're just about ready to release a longer form writing version of the roadmap, but we can kind of talk through it a little bit here. For 2022, at a high level, I think we have 3 main areas of focus. Those are, number 1, what I'll call autonomy or self-sufficiency. Number 2 is the community or social aspect. And number 3 is what we'll call like price or value. Really quickly, I'll talk about price. I think that's easy. Our goal as the founders of this project is to deliver value to our stakeholders, who are the NFT holders. So anything we do will be in service of making sure that we deliver to the people who have bought into our project. We're not going to optimize for the floor price. I think that's a bad approach, but it's a measure we're going to use to kind of indicate, are we doing things? Are we moving in the right direction? So just to the community, we're cognizant of the price. We obviously want everybody to succeed, so keep that in mind. On the community and autonomy side, when you look at the most successful projects in the NFT space, what they really have is kind of like a self-feedback loop or a feedback cycle of marketing. People buy in, they realize the wonder and excitement of a specific community, and they themselves become, the marketing material. You see apes when you look at Twitter. You see rabbits now in their in people's PFPs, right? That becomes this organic marketing. So we want to make sure that we're getting our name out. We also really want to focus internally on making sure that Redacted Club is a community that people want to be a part of. To that effect, we have a few actionable roadmap items that we're looking at for Q1. I can talk a little bit about some of them. There's been mention of it already, some hints to it, but concretely, some of the things for 2022 in Q1 that we're going to be focusing on are the DAO. So we'll be launching a Redacted Club DAO, and part of that is to get real community participation and community initiatives. We're just 3 people, but if we had 30 people who are dedicated to making sure Redacted Club grows and have real stake in the longer term success, we believe, you can just imagine where we could end up in a year's time. We also are focusing on building out our own Redacted Club validator node, and we'll be using revenue generated by that to actually fund our community, fund for the DAO itself. So we have funds to take on different missions and tasks. We'll also be officially launching our bounty program. So I don't know, Eric, if you were part of it, but we launched what we basically had a banner game a rabbit, what we call Redacted Club bingo, where every day we announce a few attributes and people got to cross off rabbits from their bingo sheet, and the winners of this are going to get points in our bounty program. And we'll have a long post about this tomorrow or in a couple of days, but we'll have a bounty program which will have a lot of tasks that are about building community as well as secret network initiatives and just promoting the ecosystem. We'll also have our metaverse gallery, and this will kind of be a metaverse type space where rabbits can log into, they can walk around, they can explore, they can see what we'll think about as historically significant rabbits in the course or trajectory of Redacted Club. And it's cool. It's like a 3D space. You can walk around. There'll be music playing. It's a taste of a metaverse like rabbit world. And the last thing which we touch on a little bit, is we really want to focus on our collaboration with Secret Network. Tor, mentioned a fund to support Secret Network NFTs, and we're actively communicating with him on what's the best way for Redacted Club to get involved and to make the best use of that. So it's a win-win feedback loop. If we can help Secret's ecosystem thrive, then we thrive as well. So these are just a handful of the things listed on the roadmap. We have a couple of other things that you'll see, but sorry, this is a long way to answer the question of how we want to build a community. But yeah.
Great answer. I love the idea of taking my little rabbits in the metaverse and beating up the Lizard King firsthand, taking out my katana. That's awesome. A little bit more about the rabbits. You guys have DNA for the rabbits in the private metadata?
Yes, the DNA. This has been the subject of a lot of speculation as to what that could mean. So we do have secret DNA. Part of the reason that we have it is we were looking at the feature set of Secret Network NFTs, and we saw that they had private metadata. And we'd bought NFTs and even created some on other networks, and we were thinking like how can we use the secret or private metadata in kind of a novel way that we couldn't replicate on other networks? And we had a few ideas. So we had this was even before implementing the project. We had kicked around the idea of maybe something like a game, or maybe something like mutant rabbits. So we had sorry, actually, Brown, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I can kind of hop in here. Basically, there's a lot of things that we have planned for DNA, and like I mentioned for the roadmap for 2022, we have a lot of initiatives that we're trying to hit. So I think the way we kind of view it first is we want to make sure the community side of things is really strong before we officially announce anything with DNA. But I can tell the community that we have stuff in development, some more experimental ideas. So we don't want to say anything until we have it ready and concrete to release. So long story short, DNA stuff is in development, and stay tuned.
Awesome. Yeah, I know it's experimental, but I know people in the community are already experimenting strangely with it. Paul and Joe have been trying to mate their rabbits. Super weird stuff. But hey, maybe in the future, that's how we're going to have next generation bunnies.
That's hey, I mean, use your rabbit how you want to use it.
All right. So you guys had an awesome, smooth release. You guys did it on your own site. What led to your decision not to wait for Stashh?
Yeah, I can jump in on this one. So we kind of covered some of the reasons that we wanted to build on Secret Network, and then some of the ways that we were actually able to build on Secret Network. So that included, some of the early infrastructure, like from Figment Data Hub, and then also meeting the OG team. But really the core of why we didn't want to wait for Stashh is we wanted to be early, and we're in the Web3 space to build. So for us, the technical challenge of building kind of pays off in the long term. And there's something special about hanging out in the Discord with hundreds of people waiting to hit the mint button. Like that magical NFT minting moment. So we really wanted to have that as well. So it was kind of a mix of wanting to be early and build in Web3 and also have that magical minting moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think your decision turned out wonderfully. I mean, Stashh is fantastic. I love using it at Stashh, STASHH.io, emphasis on the sh. And that's where you can find all of the awesome secret NFT projects that have launched. But they were supposed to release initially like 1 week after Anons back in October, and they kept getting kind of pushed back, which is for the best to make sure it's functioning properly. But then like platforms that waited for them, like Secret Dogs, ended up being hurt a little by it because now they're like the 10th or 11th one to release instead of like the second. So good job sticking to your guns and building it out. And you guys have gotten a lot done in that time.
Yeah, thanks. One thing I'll add too is while there's definitely a focus on being early, ultimately it was about quality for us. So if we felt that we weren't able to release, pre-Stashh with a quality project, we would have waited. But because we thought we could get the contract to where it needed to be, we can get the art to where it needed to be, we can get the community to where it needed to be. It just, it didn't make sense for us to wait. We should just release now and keep building.
You got one picture of a blue puffer jacket and you're like, full send, we're good.
More or less.
Fair, I respect it. All right, do you have any tips for new artists that are planning on releasing NFTs on Secret Network?
I can start off here and definitely, White and Black Rabbit jump in. I think there's obviously a camp of people whose projects are, taking things that work and porting them over into different ecosystems. And there's some value to that. We won't comment on the merits of that, but what we can say generally for a project that, while there are inspirations for us, we are still starting from scratch. So when you're doing that, you want to focus on creating a unique story. Something that the community can resonate with. When you think about the Secret Network, it's a world of privacy. It's focused on decentralization. It's focused on control, and control in the sense of your own data and your own information. So, given those types of themes, you want to write a story. You want to write a trajectory that will relate and really resonate with people who are participants, or basically you want to write a story that resonates with the participants or the target audience for your project, right? So get good art, make sure it's high quality, and then make it thematically appropriate for your audience.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're spot on. I see that so often in Secret Network because it's true that everything that is built everywhere else can be built better and more sustainably with privacy on Secret Network. And so there's merit to the idea of taking these things and like, oh, well, I'll build them sustainably because that's not going to work long period if they don't have privacy. But there's also so much more that's possible, like in general in crypto, but especially in Secret Network. So we need to stop limiting ourselves to just recreating what we've seen just here on Secret Network, and instead explore the possibilities that haven't been tried anywhere else because they weren't even a thought. They wouldn't have even made sense anywhere else. And yeah, we can do secret DNA and all the cool and weird experiments that Paul and Joe do. Like it's fantastic, and we need to explore that.
Yeah, the design space on Secret Network with privacy is massive, and we're only scratching the surface. This is all so early. So yeah, for future projects, think about where things can be in a year and 5 years, and try to build something that will have that kind of longevity.
Yeah. Well, taking a look at the private metadata, we're going to challenge you guys to a viewing key.
Uh-oh.
This week's viewing key question is, what is the name of Emergent Properties' first collection? Is it A, Supernova, B, Interstellar, C, Big Bang, D, Starburst, or E, Hypernova?
I think I know the answer. Is it C, Big Bang?
That is correct. Awesome job. We're recording this here on the 2nd, so their whitelist part has just gone live today with a Big Bang, and so I went ahead and got one with the one whitelist spot I had. But yeah, they had the Big Bang launch, which they wanted to say shows the creation. I say is meant to show that it's not creationism because they didn't actually make the art themselves. It's generative.
There you go.
Their lunch is going pretty smooth. An excellent job. Joe wanted to throw you guys a layup, an easy question, because he's so disheartened at how terribly our guests consistently score on the viewing key questions. But it just shows me that the ecosystem's so vast. And no, awesome job, guys. You are winners. Very few projects get to say that. You get to come back now.
Hell yeah.
All right. So you touched a little bit on the roadmap and kind of utility that there could be a DAO in play in the future, as well as maybe a validator node. So if you guys have some rabbits, you might want to stake to their node. And then also that we're looking at some metaverse possibilities, which I think is fascinating. I actually made a bunch of metaverse connections while in Miami. Well, potentially hanging out with you guys. I don't know. But what other utility can the rabbits themselves have? Like, what can we do with these NFTs?
Yeah, it's something we think about. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, the rabbits are images, right? They represent identities in Redacted Club, and when we think about utility, we think about that at two levels. One level is obviously for each individual, NFT, what can we use it for? But also as a community, how can we build utility for being a part of Redacted Club? And functionally, when you think about what a Redacted Club NFT is, it is your key or your ticket of admission to be a part of the rabbit hole, to be a part of Redacted Club. So we think about utility primarily from the angle of how do we build for our community. And utility is it's so tough to define. There's a lot of issues with it, especially when it comes to like legality and security laws. So we need to be careful from that front. But I can say that the framework that we have for building Redacted Club is each Redacted Club NFT is your ticket to be a part of our community, and we want to build as much as we can for our community. So you can view it as your share or your ticket of admission to what we build going forwards.
And is this ticket of admission going to get you into yacht parties?
TBD. We'd love that to be the case. Or maybe more thematically appropriate, we'll have some underground parties in a rabbit hole. So we'll figure it out.
I like it. I'm down. Now, with the launch of Stashh, and we've seen a lot of success and tons of NFT projects already in the first couple weeks, what do you guys think is next for Secret NFTs? And what would you guys personally like to see in the Secret NFT space that maybe doesn't exist yet?
Yeah, we think this is a really crucial question, and actually something we talked with at length with Tor in Miami about. And ultimately, we think NFTs are going to transition from community avatars / PFPs to real building blocks for dApps with utility beyond what you get with today's NFTs, which is mostly community and identity. Now, Secret has built-in support for that kind of utility-based NFT, but I think we're at least a year away from seeing some of those come to fruition. So for now, I think the optimal strategy really is to bring users in and get them familiar with the space. There's an image that we really like from you might be familiar with it, from the Stashh, from the Secret Network blog post about Secret NFTs. Lays out a number of compelling use cases like private galleries, sealed bid auctions, watermarked content, ultimately anything up to ticketing, ID cards. But to get there, we really first need to drive adoption and then take baby steps into some of the utility that's listed above. Some of the things we imagine potentially seeing are private POAPs, new implementation of loot boxes, private event tickets. We're also really excited to see potential bridging of Secret NFTs onto more popular NFT chains, so ETH or Sol, where you might be able to tap into some of those larger markets, but not access the real utility of the NFT until you bridge it back to Secret.
Yeah, I want to see Redacted Bunny sold on OpenSea, and I want to see Bored Ape Yacht Club's apes sold on Stashh, and it can happen. Huh?
Yeah.
Very cool. I also, as far as the IDs go, I love the idea of using secret ID verification and whatnot with NFTs. And if you guys happen to build it out, just nonchalantly put a little carrot earring on the little fake profile faces, and we'll know.
We definitely will.
Dope. All right. Guys, thank you very much for talking us through the rabbits. Is there anything else you'd like to add to tell the listeners? Or if not, just let us know how we can join the Fluffle and get involved.
I will let you know how you can join the Fluffle. And we are totally going to steal that term. So thank you very much. So follow us on Twitter at Redacted Club. That's kind of like our central point of contact. We have redactedclub.com, but our Twitter is where we push out the latest and greatest. Definitely join our Discord, and specifically buy a rabbit and get in our private chat. So instructions for that are in our Discord. And that is kind of the first step towards a DAO. So right now, if you join the Discord, most of the rabbits are actually in a private chat, only accessible for rabbit holders. And finally, make sure to join our bounty challenge, which is kicking off now. So we're going to go through a number of kind of fun tasks and challenges for rabbit holders. And we're going to assign points to those. So the winner is going to get rabbit number 647, along with a secret prize and a metaverse gallery spot. The second place prize is going to get secret and a metaverse gallery spot, as well as the third place prize. So it should be a lot of fun.
Sweet. Let's get involved. Down with the Lizard King.
Down with the Lizard King.
Down with the Lizard King.
All right, guys, we're putting those websites and your Twitter handle here in the episode description. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Excellent release, excellent project. We, as part of the community, always have had a wonderful time in your Discord and getting to know your project and playing with our rabbits and talking crap on Paul and Joe for not getting a robot or a zombie. So,
yeah, thanks for having us, Eric. This is a lot of fun, and to anybody who's listening, please join our community. Come talk to us. Let us know your ideas. We're all figuring out this experimental and new space, so we really do look to the community to help guide us as we take on more tasks and build our roadmap. So yeah, we want to hear your thoughts. Come talk to us, and we're looking forward to meeting all of you.
100%. Looking forward to what's coming in the next couple months, guys.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Right. Thanks.
Thank you for deciphering the secret code. For the community, by the community. New episodes every Sunday. Secret Sunday.
Thanks for listening. Congrats to Spowat_T_ for the community spotlight question. Participate to have your chance at winning some free secret. The reward for this week comes out to 2.5 secret. If we're his top delegation, then it's 5 secret. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for potential guests, please mention it in the comments. See you next week.